Have you ever thought about what really sets the most vibrant, thriving seniors apart from the rest? If you're between 70 and 85 and still doing the 5 things we're about to talk about, you're not just aging gracefully, you're part of a rare and impressive 3% who are quietly beating the odds. And no, this isn't about the usual advice like stay active or eat well. We're diving into surprising, lesser-known indicators that reflect remarkable physical health, sharp thinking, and a kind of resilience that most people start to lose long before they reach 80. This video is all about those 5 specific actions. They're simple, yet powerful. Things only a small number of people over 80 can still do. And each one tells a story about your body, your mind, and your future. This isn't about pushing yourself to the limit or proving anything to anyone. It's about recognizing your own strength, celebrating it, and learning how to preserve it. Even if you're not doing all of these yet, that's okay. This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness, motivation, and real possibilities. Because once you understand what these hidden signs mean, you can start building toward them, step by step. Stick around until the end. You might be surprised to realize just how much power you still hold when it comes to your health and independence, no matter your age. Let's begin. First up, the ability to squat without using support. Being able to lower yourself into a squat and rise back up without leaning on furniture or bracing yourself is far more significant than it sounds. If you're past 80 and still doing this easily, you're in rare company. Why? Because squatting demands a mix of balance, lower body strength, joint mobility, and core control areas that typically decline with age. But if you're still moving like this, with ease, it's a sign of whole body vitality that even many younger folks struggle with. Let's break it down. As we get older, muscles around our hips and knees naturally weaken, joints stiffen, and cartilage wears down. Even standing up from a low chair can feel like a workout, but being able to squat smoothly and pain-free shows you've managed to hold on to key muscle groups that protect against falls, support independence, and even improve things like digestion and circulation. That's right, your ability to squat can even affect how well your bowels function. There's also a mindset element here. Seniors who can still squat often share a belief that movement is essential, not optional. They don't see themselves as fragile. Instead, they see their bodies as capable of adapting and getting stronger, even with age. And that belief creates a powerful cycle. Because they believe they can move, they stay active, and because they stay active, they maintain their strength. Let me tell you about someone I know, Harold, an old fishing buddy of mine. He's 80. One morning I watched him kneel by the lake to untangle his line, then stand up without effort. No cane, no groaning, just a smooth motion. Later, I asked how he stays so nimble. He just smiled and said, "I get down every day so I never forget how to get back up." That stuck with me. His secret wasn't just physical ability, it was daily practice, done with purpose. Not to prove anything, but to preserve what he valued. So if you're still able to squat down and rise without using your hands, even slowly, celebrate it. That one simple motion means your muscles, joints, and balance are still working in harmony. It means you've preserved strength where many have lost it. And more than that, it means you've likely maintained the mental and emotional grit that pushes a person to stay active, even when no one's watching. And if you can't do this yet, that's okay, because every day you try, every time you lower yourself a little more or rise with a bit more control, you're sending your body a message. I'm not done yet, and that message matters. That message is the beginning of strength, returning. Number 2, staying curious and learning new things. At an age when many people are expected to slow down and settle into routine, continuing to seek out new knowledge is a rare and powerful act. If you're over 80 and still hungry to learn, whether it's reading new books, picking up a new hobby, or even learning how to use a smartphone app, you're not just aging, you're evolving. And that makes you part of the extraordinary. You see, curiosity isn't just something that lives in young people. In fact, it's one of the few traits that, if nurtured, can grow even stronger with time. Staying mentally active has been directly linked to a reduced risk of dementia, better emotional resilience, and even stronger problem-solving skills. But more than that, it reflects a life mindset, one that says, "I'm not finished yet, there's still more to explore." Most people don't realize how much effort it takes to keep learning at this stage of life. It's not just about memory or focus, it's also about courage. It takes courage to try something new when the world expects you to be done. It takes humility to ask questions when everyone assumes you've got all the answers. But the seniors who keep learning, they've mastered the art of staying open, staying young in spirit, and refusing to believe that their best days are behind them. I once met a woman named Judith at a community workshop. She was 84, and there she was in the front row, learning how to play the ukulele for the first time. She told me she'd never played an instrument in her life, but she always loved music and thought, why not now? At first her fingers were stiff and clumsy, but each week she got a little better, and by the end of the course, she played a sweet little tune that made the whole room smile. She said it made her feel 40 again. That's the power of trying. That's the magic of curiosity. And it doesn't have to be music or art. It can be anything. Bird watching, chess, local history, a new recipe. The topic doesn't matter as much as the mindset. What counts is that you're still leaning into life, still reaching, still growing. Because when you stop learning, a part of you stops living. But when you stay curious, that spark keeps glowing, no matter how many candles are on your cake. So if you're still reading books, trying new things, asking questions, or even just looking up answers on your phone, give yourself credit. That's not common. That's not ordinary. That's rare. And that might be one of the clearest signs that you're not just getting older, you're still becoming. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, walking without assistance. One of the clearest indicators of exceptional aging is the ability to walk independently. It sounds simple, but walking unaided, without a cane, walker, or someone by your side, is one of the most powerful signs of mobility, balance, and overall health. In fact, researchers often use walking speed and stability as predictors of longevity. So, if you're part of that small group who can still take a confident stroll on your own, you're demonstrating something rare and remarkable. Walking without assistance means more than just getting from point A to point B. It requires a complex orchestration of muscle strength, joint flexibility, neurological coordination, and cardiovascular endurance, all systems that naturally decline with age. Most people over 80 have experienced some level of joint stiffness, arthritis, or balance issues. So when someone at that age walks briskly down the street, upright and steady, it's not just impressive, it's inspiring. And yet, many who can still walk alone take it for granted. We forget that independence begins with our feet. The freedom to go to the grocery store, to visit a neighbor, or even just to walk around the garden. These are things that deeply impact a senior's sense of identity and joy. When you can move on your own, you're not just mobile, you're still connected to your environment, your choices, and your dignity. There's a man named Walter, 85 years old, who lives 2 blocks from the library. Every morning, rain or shine, he puts on his hat, grabs his tote bag, and walks there to read the paper. He says it keeps his legs strong, and his spirit stronger. When I walk, he told me, I feel like I'm still part of the world. I'm not just sitting and watching it pass me by. That kind of spirit is what sets the 3% apart. Of course, maintaining that level of mobility doesn't just happen by luck. It's often the result of decades of small decisions, staying active, stretching, managing weight, and listening to your body. It's also a reflection of mental determination, because after 80, Aches and pains are common, but pushing through them with grace and mindfulness is what builds resilience. So if you're someone who still walks on your own, who can get out of bed, lace up your shoes, and greet the day with your own 2 feet, you're not just beating the odds, you're showing what's possible. You're proving that aging doesn't always mean decline. Sometimes it means strength that no one expected. Never underestimate the power of a simple walk. It's one of the most basic human movements. But after 80, it becomes a badge of honor, a quiet victory. And if you're still walking your path alone, with strength, stability, and pride, you deserve to be celebrated, because only a rare few can, and you are one of them. Number 4. Learning new things. At a time when most people expect mental slowdown, being over 80 and still actively learning new things is a powerful sign of exceptional vitality. Whether it's picking up a new language, trying out digital tools, exploring a musical instrument, or diving into new books, the ability and the desire to learn speaks volumes about the health of your brain and spirit. It's not just about memory or sharpness, it's about curiosity. And curiosity after 80, that's gold. Most seniors are told, subtly or directly, to slow down, to take it easy, to rest more, or to let the younger folks handle it. But those who resist that narrative, who instead reach for knowledge and growth, are often the ones who live the most vibrant final chapters. They understand that the mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger with use. And when you keep challenging it, even after 80, you keep it flexible, awake, and alive. Take someone like Margaret, who started using a tablet at 82. Her grandkids showed her how to email, and soon she was video chatting, reading blogs, and even joining an online painting class. "I thought I was too old to learn all this stuff," she laughed. "But it turns out my brain just needed a reason." That statement captures a deep truth. Often our abilities don't vanish, they just get buried under doubt and fear. Once you push through that, the world opens up again. Psychologically, continued learning gives seniors a sense of purpose and progress. And purpose is one of the most critical factors in maintaining mental health in older age. When we stop reaching for more, we risk slipping into emotional stagnation, where each day feels like a repeat of the last. But when you're learning, you're evolving, you're telling yourself and the world, I still have more to give, more to know, and more to be. And here's the deeper layer. Learning after 80 often requires humility. It means admitting you don't know something, and then having the courage to try anyway. That's not easy for anyone, especially when you've spent a lifetime building up expertise. But those who can do that, they possess a rare kind of strength, the strength to be a beginner again. So if you're someone who still signs up for classes, asks questions, picks up new skills, or even just stays curious about the world, you're doing what only a small fraction of people your age can. And it's not just impressive, it's inspiring. Because in a world that often tells us to slow down with age, you've chosen to speed up mentally. Let's be honest, most people after 80 aren't Googling new recipes, experimenting with photography, or learning about history for fun. But if you are, you're not just part of you're the spark that reminds the rest of us what the human spirit is capable of. Keep learning, keep growing. You're showing all of us that it's never too late to expand, never too late to dream, never too late to be new again. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Setting personal boundaries. What surprises many people is that one of the rarest abilities among seniors over 80 isn't physical strength or memory. It's the ability to clearly set and maintain personal boundaries. At that age, you'd think people would be freer to live life exactly as they please. But the truth is, many still struggle to say no, to stand up for their time and energy, or to protect their peace from overbearing family, unwanted obligations, or even guilt from decades past. The few who do develop this emotional muscle are often the happy. They've reached a point where they finally understand something that took a lifetime to grasp. You can't please everyone, and you don't need to try. This clarity is rare because it requires not just courage, but wisdom born from experience. Seniors who can say, "I don't want to do that today," or "This is how I want to spend my time," are making one of the most powerful psychological statements there is. My life is mine. It's common in our culture to idealize the selfless elder, the grandparent who's always available, always agreeable, never asking for much, never rocking the boat. But the healthiest seniors often do the opposite. They speak up. They turn down visits when they're too tired. They refuse to eat something they don't like. They protect their energy as fiercely as a young person chasing a dream. That kind of emotional independence, it's as refreshing as it is. Think of someone like Harold, 84 years old, who started turning off his phone every afternoon for his quiet hour. At first his daughter was upset. She worried. She thought it was rude, but Harold stuck with it. "This is my hour to just be," he told her, and over time she came to respect it. That's what boundaries do. They may cause friction at first, but they ultimately teach people how to treat you with respect. And Harold, he now naps, reads, or just sits with his thoughts, guilt-free. Setting boundaries after 80 isn't selfish, it's self-preserving. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are finite, and choosing to spend them on what truly matters. Whether it's avoiding conversations that drain you, declining family events that feel like obligations, or simply resting without apology, these choices create room for peace, reflection and joy. What makes this ability so uncommon is that many seniors feel like they've lost the right to choose for themselves. Decades of caregiving, sacrifice, or just old habits of putting others first can make it hard to switch gears. But the seniors who do, they reclaim something essential, their voice. And with that voice, they start building a life that honors who they are now, not who they used to be or who others expect them to be. So if you're someone over 80 who knows how to draw the line, who knows when to say yes and when to say no, you're among the very few. Not only are you living with greater freedom, but you're showing others, especially the younger generations, that growing older doesn't mean fading away. It means stepping fully into yourself, unapologetically and bravely. That's not just healthy, that's heroic. Final thought, if you're over 80 or approaching it, here's something you might not hear often. You're allowed to surprise yourself. You're allowed to learn new things, feel deeply, change your mind, and grow in ways no one expected. This video wasn't just about the 5 things that only 3% of seniors can do. It was about rediscovering what's still possible when most of the world assumes your story is already written. Every one of these rare abilities, from balancing on one foot to setting strong personal boundaries, points to a deeper truth. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement. It can mean becoming more of who you really are, with less fear and more freedom. That's the beauty of growing older. It strips away the noise and leaves behind what really matters. And if you're watching this and thinking, "Well, I can't do most of those things," don't be discouraged. You're not behind. You're not failing. The point isn't to meet a list, it's to see what's possible. Maybe you start with one deep breath a day, one walk around the block, one no to something that drains you. Those small shifts add up. They matter more than you think. I've met folks who didn't start truly living until their 70s or 80s. I've seen someone pick up a guitar at 82. I've seen a woman walk away from toxic family patterns at 85. I've watched a man forgive his father at... So no, it's never too late. Not to get stronger, not to grow braver, not to feel more whole. And if you're one of the rare few already doing these things, you're not just living, you're leading. Your courage gives others hope. Your strength sends a ripple through your family, your friends, and anyone lucky enough to cross your path. That's the kind of legacy that lasts far longer than years. So here's my final thought. Don't let the world define what your age should look like. You define with each decision, each boundary, each act of movement, each breath of calm. You are quietly rewriting the rules. Keep going. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.